folks, welcome back to My Kitten Reads. I'm Eleanor and this is my first video of 2020. This is my reading statistics from 2019, goals achieved or not achieved, and reading goals for 2020. So it feels really weird to say 2020. Wow, 2020. But yes, so my goals and my statistics, this is your yearly update. So, how did I do in 2019? Well, I did hit my main goal, which was to read a total of 120 books. But as usual, when I say books, I mean books, short stories, graphic novels, etc. So I read the 120, although in my defense, again, I completed that 120 on the 31st of December. So, yeah. But anyway, but I did it. 110 of those were fiction and 10 were non-fiction. No poetry this year. 38 items were short fiction, so that includes short stories, novelettes, novellas, and like Uncanny Magazine and collections and stuff. So 38, that's not too bad. 12 were graphic novels, which probably honestly were mostly issues of Shuri this year, to be honest. So in terms of my authors, I read 92 things by female authors, 23 things by male authors, and 5 by both. So that's generally when there's like a magazine or a collection which has 2 authors, or 2 editors anyway, because those I count editors as authors. I read 20 audiobooks, and I reread 39 things with 81 new items. So I continue to read a lot of new items. So none of these statistics are particularly of a surprise. I always am heavy on the female authors. And I do reread a bit, but I'm still doing really well with a lot of new stuff. So yeah, none of these statistics are a huge surprise. And then we come to the statistics, which are to do with my actual goals. So the goals that I had for 2019, I was to improve on 2018's statistics for authors of colour and improve on my statistics for what I would consider queer literature. Basically, either one of the main characters needs to be queer in some way. So not necessarily the protagonist, but it has to be a major character. It can't be just a minor character. But I read, for example, a lot of things that had ensemble casts, that had multiple perspectives. So as long as one of those main characters was queer, then it counted. So I read 18 things by authors of colour, and I read 16 things that had queer main characters. So that, in both cases, is 2 more than 2018. So I achieved that goal. So that's really good. However, my other goals for the year didn't go quite so well. So there was that goal, which I didn't really have a number for, to start rereading from my list of 5-star things I want to reread and like intensely. I didn't end up paying a great deal of attention to that goal, so I think I only reread 1 thing from that list and started another one. So that wasn't great. But that, I think, is a long-term goal, and so that, yeah, and the fact that I did English classes this year probably distracted me from intensely rereading things for fun, like taking notes and stuff. So anyway, my other 2 goals were TBR related. So my physical TBR, which I'm always looking to reduce, I started the year at 144, I ended the year at 148. Not great, but it didn't expand rapidly. So, you know, it's reasonable. I'm still not entirely sure how it happened. I don't remember buying a lot of books, but I must have. And I thought I read a lot of them as they came in, but the thing that probably tipped me over would have probably been my Continuum haul, because I don't think I've actually read any of those books yet. So even though that wasn't really big, it's weird. Anyway, that happened. And the other part of that was my aim to read my subscription books. So my aim was to reduce the amount of subscription box books that were on my TBR. I started the year with 33. I ended the year with 34. So I didn't reduce, but I got close to being even. Not all of those were read. So a couple of books are on my currently reading pile. I DNF'd one. I got rid of a few, which I still technically have in the house because I haven't figured out where to donate them to yet. But I got rid of a few in my tri-chapter tag, sorry. Yeah, so not quite achieved the goal, but I got close. Which, you know, I'm reasonably comfortable with, although a little bit disappointed. So, that was my 2019 stats and what happened with my 2019 goals. So, 2020. I actually have more goals. None of them will be a huge surprise, I think. But yes, so once again, I'm setting my overall goal for the year on Goodreads as 120 books because this is the third year in a row I've done that. But that's because I keep hitting that goal on the last day of the year. So it seems to be a good number for me. If I go past it, that's great. But it seems to be my achievable 120. That's 10 books a month. So that seems to be my achievable reading thing. So, also, as usual, I want to improve on my 2019 stats for authors of colour and books with queer characters. So that just means getting more than this year. Sorry, more than last year. Language, it's a thing. However, because I'm getting to the point where I'm heading towards, you know, that sort of 15, 20 book mark, I think I need to keep track of them during the year a little better. So I'm going to attempt, in order to get more than at least 19 books by an author of colour and at least 17 books with queer protagonists, because that's the bare minimum to be better than 2019, I'm going to attempt to track it and read at least 2 of each per month. So they can be, and when I say 2 of each, that doesn't mean 4 books necessarily. If there is a book by an author of colour which also has queer protagonists, that counts as 1 each for both, even though it's 1 book. But, so the aim is to at least keep myself on track by reading 2 a month. That should totally be done. Doable. Fingers crossed. I also want to continue to try and reduce the amount of subscription books on my shelf. This is always hard because I've got at least 12 more coming because I still have an Outcrack subscription. But again, like the previous 2 goals, I'm going to attempt to read or at least get rid of 2 per month. So that's the aim, to get them off my TBR. So reduce the subscription books by either reading or getting rid of at least 2 per month. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to also bring back a goal, I think, from 2018, which is to catch up on or complete series. So since 2018, when I did that, in the last year or so, I have started some more series. Because, you know, that is what happens when you read a lot of Outcrack YAs. Often they are the first in a series of series. So I have picked up some more series. Not every book that I read from Outcrack is I'm going to want to continue with, but enough. Yeah, anyway. So my aim is to try and catch up to the point that they're at or finish series. So I have 23 currently in progress, or ones that there's a couple that I'm caught up on, but I know there are books coming out this year, so they're still on the list. So I've got a handy little notebook, the same notebook that I had in 2018, which has all my series in it and what books are available, what I've read and what I haven't. So the aim is to at least complete or catch up to some of those 23 series. Anyway, so that's another goal. Yay! And that will hopefully get some off my TBR as well, because there are a few that are on my TBR. So that's good. And my final goal for 2020 is to catch up on Uncanny Magazine. I've been really, really slack about reading Uncanny, even though I still kickstart them every year. I've gotten a little bit caught up recently because in December I was back at the gym, and so I've read a few issues recently. And I am actually up to, I think, the second issue of 2019. So I am less than a year behind. I probably am going to be wanting to do a lot of this in the first part of this year, because that way I can actually have some things to nominate for the Hugo Awards. Yeah, so that's a thing that I want to do. I want to actually be able to nominate, which means I have to actually be able to have read the 2019 stories. So what I'm doing is I'm reading it at the gym, because I can get through about a third of an issue at the gym per run at the moment. So, you know, handy. I've already done 2 runs so far this year, and I'm 61% of the way through the issue that I'm reading. So yeah, the plan is to try, by the end of the year, try and be up to date with Uncanny Magazine. So that's 6 goals this year. It seems a lot, but they're all pretty much goals that I've done before. And I'm going to try and manage it a little bit better. That's the other thing. So there are the goals that I'm trying to do 2 of per month, at least. And I also want to actually remember this year, hopefully, to do a mid-year catch up so that I know where I am. That would be handy as well. And I'm also making, who knows whether this will last beyond this month, but I'm attempting to use my Our Crate reading planner. So it's a monthly reading planner. I have set up my January for it. I don't have a specific TBR, but I want to read 2 authors of colour, 2 queer books, and 2 subscription books. So that's a thing. And I have my weekly planner set out as well, with my page counts. Again, like I said, I'm really not good at keeping up with stuff like this, but this is a really pretty planner, so I'm at least going to try and use it. We'll see how I go. But yeah, I think my goals are getting to the point where, in order to achieve them, I need to pay closer attention to where I'm up to earlier in the year. So don't just get to December and go, I'm not there yet, crap. Which is kind of what happened this year. Particularly, I think I'd reached my Authors of Colour goal, but I had not reached my queer goal, and I had not reached my subscription goal, obviously. And so I went, oh, and suddenly had to try and read a whole bunch of things in December. And when I have to read certain things, it doesn't always go well, because I am a mood reader. However, we'll see how I go. Those are my goals for 2020. If you have specific goals for 2020, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye.